asking me, who are you? Tell him, no, I'm Brian. He says, where are you from? He says, Alex. He says, come on, Papa, man. Akuna matlapa Alexander.
Yeah.
Ukusuka Alexander ukufika la udlule amatlapa engaka ukufika eSoweto.
The kind of pressure that you were in, because these guys, you have to do something extraordinary
for you to make it.
Yeah.
You man, you know,
my mom had a crush on you.
Yeah, like dude, you know, my mom knew you because you know I'm a goalkeeper and all these. And these days,
like with Chiefs, because I always felt like you were gonna stay there forever. So when they want to get rid of you, what happens that day?
Jeez, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we need a drink for that.
Yeah, bro.
Because I didn't see that coming. Bro.
And he was a chief for. I mean, you're there since 17.
Sundowns come. And Sundowns says to me, we know what you earn. But there's a checkbook. Just write what you want.
Hey! Yeah.
I went crazy.
I'm the fans throwing things at you at this moment.
They were. I went crazy and I went to the Chiefs man.
Don't you think Sundowns is killing soccer? I mean, they just buy all the best players. They win every single year. It's not fun anymore.
Yeah. Including not just professional, even the young boys.
So, thanks to our friends at Martell, we're going to give you and a friend a chance to watch Podcast and Chill live with the entire crew. I'm talking about myself, Sol Penduka, Ghost Lady. Everybody from the crew is going to be there and you can join us. All you got to do is click in the link description below. Also, you can register on Martell's website for your chance to win. Don't miss out on this absolutely VIP experience. Thanks to Martell. Hasta shade. Ladies and gentlemen, and today what a special episode we've got for you. We're chilling with a legend, one of the best keepers to come out of this country. Please make some noise for Brian BALOYI.
The best keeper, man.
The best
keeper
of all time, GOAT.
Yenda.
How are you, sir?
No, I'm very well, my brother.
Thank you so much for coming, man. It's so surreal for me because I grew up watching you when you were playing for the real Chiefs, not the Chiefs of today. Hey, I'm talking about, remember when you used to play with like Cyril Nzama, Thabo Moki, David Khatebe, Collins Besuma.
Bro, I mean,
who else?
Dr. Kumalo.
Dr. Kumalo.
Neil Tovey.
Yes.
Bro.
Yeah, so I was so lucky to have played with about 3 generations.
Yeah.
You know, and because I turned pro at 17. So and when I just turned pro, I had found, I remember just in the dressing room having to, just my first training when I got there, I was like, it's Dr. Kumalo. Then this side, it's Wellington Manyat, Umuntu Agalaf, Triple K Tim Kulu, Chipamlate, Ntsiema Peak, Neil Tovey. Like, then goes to Fanny Madid, Shane McGregor. So when you talk, when you talk to a youngster today that doesn't understand the
heritage
and those players that achieved at that time, and as a young man having to play with this team, with this icons and call them teammates, was like, yeah.
It's funny you say that because last night my wife asked me, she's like, so who are you interviewing tomorrow? I'm like, no, we're chatting to Brian BALOYI. She's like, who's that? I'm like, she's the original Itumile Nkune. She's like, oh, okay. So do you get that a lot? Like people that don't understand, like your history and your career and are shocked, like this new generation?
Not really. I get, so over the years, I don't know how to put this one, my wife will always, so I've been lucky that my fan base or my following cuts across race. And I go play golf, with the Mlungus, and they know who I am, even Afrikaners. I go, so funny. So my wife, we would travel. Sometimes we had Sun City or wherever. When just in South Africa, and she got to a point where she noticed that most of the time Indians are the ones that recognize me and see me.
Yeah.
She's like, you have such a big following of Indians. What's wrong? Like, I don't know. And today I find a lot of young people. I find a lot of 10, 11-year-olds, but that maybe the dads would have told them about me. And then I think the good thing with today is that just Google, when parents
YouTube
with YouTube, when people just tell, and yes, there's a lot of them. They will tell them, you see the kune that you like.
Yeah,
this is the original.
Yes.
And for me, I think when I was playing, I never took that thing that serious until when I've retired. And looking back, I'm like, geez. Sometimes you played football just for the love of it.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed every minute of it. And that was my happy place. But one thing that one never really looked at and took serious, and up until now, is to have your own nickname. Because growing up,
Spider-Man.
We all called ourselves with someone. I used to call myself Zenga. Walter Zenga, the Italian, goalkeeper. And so everyone, and then there's guys, and Alex that used to call me Sparks.
Yeah.
So growing up, we knew when if you're playing one pal, we're not going to call each other by our own names.
Yes.
Each one is going to choose, hey, I'm Ace, hey, I'm Doctor. So when I start looking at it, I'm like, so I created my own path. There was never a spider before me.
Yeah, there was never.
So, and everyone nickname that you 10 pro, the supporters are going to give you a nickname of someone. They're going to call you Pence. They're going to call you Banda, So they came up with a new nickname for me, and I'm happy.
Martell Chiefs, did you start as a keeper, or were you playing another position?
Yeah, at Chiefs, I started as a keeper.
Okay.
At Chiefs. So here's my story. And played in Alex. And so in Alex, back in the day, back deep in apartheid.
Yeah.
So Sheikh Skungani was the first kid in Alex to go and play in the suburbs.
Wow.
In 1987. And so when Sheikhs went to play for Wanderers, so every kid in Alex wanted to be like Sheikhs. Because what came with playing for Wanderers was he went overseas.
Wow.
And he had everything. So when he came, so he played for Wanderers, and then he'd play with us in the township.
Yes.
But when he came to play with us, he's got a talk back, he's got tracksuits, boots,
everything.
So we all want this, So now we all aspired, before even thinking of a professional, our aspiration in Alex was to play in the suburbs. And we're lucky that Alex is surrounded by a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
So then after Sheikhs, there was another guy called Umabandla. Umabandla went to Balfour Park in 1988. Then Mabandla as well went to England.
Yeah.
Then from then all of us wanted to go play in the suburbs. So we went out. I went to Balfour Park. Alfred Piri went to Wits. Lavas went to Wits. So we all, Highlands Park, there was Highlands Park. And we used to walk from Alex to Balfour.
Yes. Balfour Park. There used to be a mall, ne?
Yeah. So we used to walk. And then our coach then later found out, you guys are walking. They said, no. So we'll give you a lift up until at Pan Africa Mall. And then we'll just walk into the township. And so for me, I played for Balfour from when I was about 12 until I was 16. But then, so in the township, when he played in the suburbs, you were like an international. So you'd play for a club in the township and you play for for a club in the suburbs. But I think for me, the love for goalkeeping, without a doubt, was because of seeing Isaac Chira, who played for Kaizer Chiefs, lived in the same street as me in Alex at 15th Avenue. And I used to go watch him train. There was another goalkeeper, Glenn Twala, who played for Giant Blackpool. and they used to train, and we used to watch them train. And so the love for goalkeeping came from there. But I was a defender. I was a central defender, and then from there I became a striker. And so back then, so we used to play like there's for our provinces, but you just copy Southern Transvaal. So I represented Southern Transvaal as a striker. I was a top striker. I was scoring goals.
Wow.
And so at Balfour, when I turned 14, so then I started playing for the first team at 14. And for the first team, I was playing as a goalkeeper. And for the under 16s, I was playing as a striker.
Yeah.
And it happened for 3 years. I remember when I was 16, we played a tournament in Durban in the Natal Midlands back then. And the finals, I played against MacG.
Wow.
MacG, he represented Pretoria, and I represented Southern Transvaal. And in the final, he became the top striker with 12 goals. I had 11 goals. And we made... so I always tell people I have a Springbok jacket before. Yeah, so we made the South African, the Springboks then, as under 16s, as a striker. But funny, the same year, 16 is the same year that Chiefs got to identify me as a goalkeeper. So at school, I was playing as a goalkeeper at school, and I used to play against Sheikh Skungwani. It was a rival school, and I used to give him a problem. And he had just signed with Chiefs, and he told them, "Now there's a boy, you must come watch him."
So Sheikh's the one who told them?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, "No, there's a boy there," because they only had one keeper in their reserve team.
Yeah.
And his name is Walter. So they had Walter. I'll tell you a story about Doctor's father, what he said when I went to Chiefs.
Yeah.
So then Sheikhs tells them they come. One game, they watched me. I said, no, he must come. So the next week, he says, they're coming with me to training. So we train at Elka Stadium, Rockville.
Yeah.
So from Alex, we take 3 taxis to get there. We take taxi, we get there. Before training, everyone is there. Then Brapro, Kumalo, the doctor's father, he was coaching the under 16s. He's asking me, "Who are you?" Tell him, "No, I'm Brian." He says, "Where are you from?" He says, "Alex." He says, "Come on, Papa, man." Akuna matlapa Alexander.
Yeah.
Ukusuka Alexander ukufika la udlule amatlapa engaka ukufika Soweto. Ngosiqwalisa man. Athi udlala yiphi position? No, I'm a goalkeeper. He says, no. How old are you? I say 16. So at that time, I'm with the reserve team. He says, no. There's the under 16s there. So I tell, and now Sheikhs, so everyone is scared of Brapro now.
Of course.
So I'm like, Sheikhs, now. Sheikhs says, Sheikhs don't upegale. And then I tried to talk to the old man. He says, no. So he takes me to the under 16s. So that was a Tuesday. I trained with the under 16s, but I'm angry now that I didn't come here for the under 16s. So the Thursday, I don't go back to training because they were training Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yes.
Thursday, I don't go back.
Yeah.
Thursday, I don't go back. Then the guy that was the team manager, Vincent Williams, and the coach for the reserve team was Asin Twilling and Ryder Mufokeng. Those are like Chiefs greats. The best right back Chiefs has ever had. And for me, in my opinion, the best players South Africa has ever had, for me, Asin Twilling. And now, the Thursday, then I don't go to training. The Friday, they call me, "Why didn't you come to training?" And Sheikhs now after school as well, comes to me, "Eman, bayakufuna, why ungezange?" I say, no, time malinkoshile, I'm not going back. They say, no. So Bravi says, no, come back Tuesday. Tuesday, next week, I go back. Says, "Ubuyile?" I say, "Yes, Baba ngibuyile." Says, "Awungazi." So he says to me, "Amazolta, he can't."
Yeah.
Uzomkhipha uWalter. I said, "No, yes." So time a little, so the old man took me on the side, and he does this funny thing. So he puts his hands like this. So he goes on his knees, puts his hand out like this. So he says, "I must come running." So then come and touch him here.
Yeah.
So I come running. So when I touch him here, so he does this. So
you fall.
So I fall. So I fall. Okay. Ati buya. I go again. He does the second time. I'm like, okay, I go. The third time I come, he does this. So I somersault.
Yeah.
So he does this then. So I somersault. So my God, like me like him begging. He went crazy. What doing? What's it? So he asked the other goalkeeper to come. From there, one time attack. At that time, Esintswele is watching. Yes. Then from then, I trained with him that day, bro. He trained me, and I used to love diving.
So was that the kind of pressure that you were in? Because these guys, you have to do something extraordinary
for you to make it.
Yeah.
And so now, then from then, I make it. Then after a week, the late Esintswele, I only got to know this after he had passed from a gentleman who was a driver there. He says, this man went to the chairman and told him that I have found a future goalkeeper after seeing me for 1 week.
Whoa. Yes.
And so again, a lot of people think that I was developed at Chiefs. I say, yes, a bit, but not at development. So I got to Chiefs 1990 in October. And I played with the reserve team from October, November, December. By January, they invited me to train with the first team. So by January 1991, I was training with the first team. And 3 months later, in April, just after turning 17 in April, I signed with the first team.
Wow.
I didn't even spend a year.
And is this all going to your head, or now you're like, okay, I've signed, I've got to prove my worth now?
To be honest, at that time, I didn't even care.
Yeah.
Even when they called me my contract, my first contract was earning $800. I didn't even care.
A month.
Yeah. I didn't even care how much I was earning. I didn't, when they called me to sign, they called my mom. And all I was excited about was,
I just want to
I'm training with the first team. I'm playing. Training there, I'm with, like I said, the funny Adidas, legends. And
is there anyone in that locker room saying, when you're 17 years old, what are you doing here?
Fanny Madid. So Fanny was hot at that time.
Yeah.
And so he liked at training, before training, after training, Fanny liked to do shooting practice. So Fanny would come and say, so at that time when I got there, there was Wade Duplessis. There was what's his name? William Shongwe. And then I was the third keeper just before Potende came. Then so he used to just when he's look shy.
Yeah.
So always he'd come to me and say, I said, again, if people again didn't bulan. And so I got stronger and from interacting with them, with the big personalities, and I loved coming early to training. So if training was like starting at 4, Fanny liked to come earlier and do shooting practice. And before I came, he had no one, so I always wanted to be there and for him to do his shooting. And
and I heard there were 2 different changing rooms in Kaizer Chiefs. There was a junior one and a senior one.
Always, till today.
Yeah.
But I think today, I'm not sure if they
still
keeping to the culture, the reasons why there was 2.
Yeah. What were the reasons?
So there was one for the seniors, and one for the youngsters.
Yeah.
So one for the youngsters would be all the youngsters that are coming from the development that are just training with the first team, and the new guys that are on trial, and the new players that the club signs. Then the other one is for the seniors, and you're not allowed to go in there. And each one has their own space where they're sitting.
What's the reason? Is it because you want the guys to aspire?
Yeah. It was more for seniority and stuff, and it's stuff that even in I got to learn later that in Manchester, in all Liverpool, these things they're done for to give the senior players respect.
Yes,
including that now in our dressing room in the juniors as well is that. You help the kit manager with cleaning the boots
and stuff like that. Yeah.
So you help the kit manager with cleaning of the boots and stuff. So these things are not done today. And
you wonder why we are so terrible.
Yeah, youngsters come in and they just take over a dressing room
because they're getting paid big bucks.
But again, I think because it's either the senior players are not taking their rightful place within the team as seniors, because it's not just about on the field. Off the field, everything, as senior players, you a relationship with the coach, so all of these things that needs to happen that first go to the seniors.
Yeah.
The coach, when there's problems within the team, he doesn't talk to just everyone before. He'll have to call seniors, so all of these things.
How were you in the dressing room, like after a big defeat? Let's just say you lost to Pirates.
Yeah.
Like, what does Ntate BALOYI look like when you get in there? You're not talking to anyone.
Yeah. I hated losing. And so when I lose, I'd be very moody. And but later it would come. Then I would never go out. I would never be very moody.
Would you guys call each other out like, BALOYI, you could have said. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the thing that made us good and to grow was that we're honest with each other. And if you've done a mistake, if it's a mistake where now we see, so you with experience you get to grow and understand that, and we understand each other's characters.
Yeah,
and I would know that if Saul has made a mistake, and I keep on reminding him about it, I know he's going to go down.
Okay.
So I would know that. If someone makes a mistake, I need to, to praise him and remind him how good he is.
Okay.
Remind him of
so he can come back.
So he can forget. But I would know that with MacG, when he makes a mistake, I need to shit on him.
Yeah.
Then he takes that personal.
Yeah.
And he wants to prove me wrong.
Okay.
So it's more.
So I feel like when you're talking the way you are, and you're describing the players you played with, I feel like that's gone with Chiefs right now, eh, Penduka?
Yeah, the golden era. Our players are forgettable. There's no eras. Like, we know about Fanny Matita, Potende Eshe, like you say, you know what I mean? Abu Matao, Daniel Matao, that era was a different era altogether. These days, we don't have that era where the layman knows the players. You need to be a football enthusiast.
I can't even tell you the starting 11 now.
Yeah,
I can't even
you
tell
need to be a football enthusiast to know. But back in the days, you knew, man, that there was
okay.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't even need to be a football enthusiast, Yeah,
and I'll tell you, I'm grateful that I was part of that generation.
Yeah.
Because today, I go to Mutu, I go to a vendor tip, and I get a grandma.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Who will recognize
That's
me?
what I mean.
I get I'll get a youngster who's like 20, 30, who's like, my father passed on.
Yeah.
My father used to love you so much.
Yeah.
And I'll get ladies that would tell me that don't know nothing about football, but they watched me with their dads, and exactly that you, in our generation, even people that were not necessarily football fans.
My mom knew you, man. She was.
My mom had a crush on you.
Yeah, like, dude, my mom knew you because I'm a goalkeeper and all these. And these days, mom don't know these players.
So, what do you think the team is getting it wrong now? Like, let's speak about Chiefs. I mean, it was a great game over the weekend with Sundowns. Did you?
I'm happy with what's happening right now.
Yep.
And after such a long time, I think we are doing the right things in terms of coaching. Bringing in the right coach, and the coach bringing in his backroom stuff, and the right coach as well. I've had interaction with this with Coach Nabi. He loves youngsters. He reminds me a lot of Moshe Nertugal.
Okay,
and that's why you will see the Vilagazi and Shabalala playing so much. What's his name? Zwane. So you'll see a lot of the youngsters. Because this man, like I said, he reminds me a lot of Moshe Nertugal.
Yeah.
And he is giving these youngsters a chance and for them to express themselves. We still need, I think, here and there, I think our defense is a bit shaky, but going forward, I'm happy. I've always said we need another striker, but Chiva is turning out to really, step up. And I mean, he's scoring, and that's what we need from him. But I think we still need. My only worry is looking at Serino, that he's just, the one who's just the lifeblood and controlling the orchestra.
Yeah.
If something had to happen to him, injury or get sick, I'm hoping that we're not going to have a problem.
It's like Rodri with Manchester City. Yeah. When he's not there, then they're a different team.
Yeah, they totally. Or even when you look at De Bruyne.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's great that we are, seeing light now. But what do you think from an ex-player, part of the generation, the golden generation? What do you think they got it wrong? Do you think it was a simple thing of Sundowns is just now dominating because they're buying all the best players, or it's a higher level? It's higher than the coaches. It's the board level.
It's a bit of both. It's a bit of because of what Sundowns has been doing, and including the wrong things that the club has been doing, and correcting them would be good, and to get to start challenging Sundowns. The wrong things being, look at, I believe there's a lot of senior players from just when Baxter left. I think that's when big mistakes were done. From when Baxter left, a lot of the players that were senior players that I believe shouldn't have been let go.
Yes.
And from then, including when it went to Steve Compella's time, and I can say this with confidence because then in Steve Compella's time, I went back to Chiefs as a goalkeeper coach for 3 years. And I saw it with my own eyes. And for me, reasons not known to me why the club did that, but a club like Chiefs, you can't not have senior players.
Yeah.
And you can't not have, and again, your senior players cannot be someone that you've just signed from a super sport, comes to Chiefs, he's there 1-2 years. There's a culture at Chiefs.
Yeah.
There's a culture of winning. So when you when you start signing, players from smaller clubs that are not used to winning,
they get swallowed.
And again, and this is what I always say to
players from Swallows, for example.
Yes. So for me, then I always say this to people, is that when you look at what it means to play for Chiefs, and we always ask ourselves when, and then again, then it gives you, whoever recruits players must always think about this. A Chiefs player is not only talented technically. He has to be talented technically, but he has to have a big heart. He has to have a big temperament. Mentality. So remember, so when you sign a player, and I'll show you after telling you this about Ronwen Williams at Sundowns.
Yes.
So when you sign a player as Chiefs, when you sign a player from Amazulu or from Supersport or from Vets, and he's been playing there for 5 years, this boy, every week, he's watched by 50 people.
Got you.
And out of the 50, 20 is family.
Yes. There's no
The other is
pressure.
friends.
There's no pressure.
So when he loses, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
So, and then when you play for Chiefs,
Media,
all of this, when you're on the field, Soccer City with 90,000 people, when they swear at you, you can hear them still with that noise.
Yeah.
So you make a mistake, or you've done a mistake last week, you hear them. More especially as a goalkeeper, you're there, you can hear them swearing, mama. So then it's either you're gonna want to prove them wrong, and again want to make it right for yourself, then to keep on playing, or then you're gonna be scared and then start faking injuries, knowing that but for me it's just most players that Chiefs sign from smaller clubs. And this is, you sign a player who was scoring 15 goals at Leopards. He comes to Chiefs, he becomes a flop. And you keep asking yourself, why? And then the same player stays at Chiefs 3 years. They go to another club. And then they start scoring again.
Yeah.
Flourish again.
And then sometimes players or even fans, they come up with stories. No, Bebangam pass. No, you can't deal with the pressure. It takes a special player to play for Chiefs. I've played for Chiefs and Sundowns. And I always tell people, there's a couple of friends, young boys that played. I won't mention their names.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was at Sundowns, that Sundowns wanted them. And it's boys that at national team, national team, my room used to be, what would be the name? But my room, so when you get to camp, all the boys would come to my room.
Yeah.
Kune, your Morgan Gold, Shaba, they'd come to my room. The first thing was everything, technology. I had laptops out when they went with phones. I'm the first one to get the newest iPhone.
Yeah.
Music. Okay, back then we were downloading from the torrents and all of this.
Yeah.
So music. So I had a big hard drive. They would come and I would bring big speakers to
even porn,
play
everything.
Pella inspired, so it's always on the web. So even with porn, yes.
Yeah, just can't. Yeah.
You gotta have a big hard drive for music.
So they would come, and for all of that in my room and stuff. But for me, the biggest thing with the boys I'm telling you about would be they'd say, Khotman, Sundowns, I know you guys want me, Chiefs want me. And I would say to them, if there's one thing I'll tell you, I'll be honest with, is that the experience of a derby is something that no one can tell you and explain to you, and you have to experience it yourself.
Yeah.
So I told them that, and again, as a player, and got nothing against Sundowns. As a player, for me, I'll tell them, I said, for your brand, if you want to build a brand beyond your playing days, you can only do that at Chiefs. At Sundowns, it's difficult. After retiring. I can tell you great players that play for Sundowns, but they haven't been able to
do as much
with their brands after retiring. But with Chiefs, I can give you.
What's that conversation like with Chiefs? Because I always felt like you were going to stay there forever. So when they want to get rid of you, what happens that day?
Jeez, oh my gosh.
We need a drink for that one.
Yeah, bro.
Because I didn't see that coming. Bro.
And he was a Chief for, you're there since 17.
Yeah.
So no one saw that coming. We thought you were going to retire at Chiefs.
So I was there since I was 17. And so at that time, I was busy with my manager. So we're talking to Chiefs, and
this is for renewal.
For a renewal.
Gotcha.
But by then, I always say, okay. My wife always wants to fight with me for this. I always say sometimes I don't see the benefits of school. So I learned so much on the streets. I learned so much on the field.
Yeah.
In real life.
I learned so much.
In real time.
And I always say to people, I think school is necessary, but not for all of us.
Yeah.
And so as human beings, we learn through experience. We're experiential beings.
Of course.
And I had learned so much, but I learned as well from the guys that came before me that played for the club. And people that I looked up to, and that I'd seen that, beyond after retiring, what's been happening with their lives.
Got you.
So I started planning my life after football whilst I was still playing.
Yes.
To a point where I got into business and all of this. But still, whilst at Chiefs at the time, so we started negotiating. And at that time, then this phenomena had just come into South Africa where we start understanding that 6 months before your contract
ends,
now you are a free
agent. Yeah.
So the year starts, my contract is ending, and I'm captain of the club at that time.
And you're playing well, eh?
I'm playing well, captain of the club. And now we're on our way to winning the league. And we hadn't won the league in a long time, the Chiefs at that time. And so now the club says no. So they're pushing back on what I'm asking for. But this is what happens in football. When you're younger, you go negotiate. They say, no,
yeah,
relax. Play, get some games,
game time,
get some game time experience, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Say, okay. And you can talk to all the players, they'll tell you it's the same story. Then you go on, then I go into my 20s, negotiate my contract. Same story. No, you're still young. Don't worry.
And soccer is a short
It's a
lifespan.
short lifespan, including that at that time in 2004, when I look back, so my manager I had, Glenn Binkin, he was manager for Lucas Khadebe, Andra Rense, all of them, He had been able to place them overseas. When I look back, then he managed me from 97 when I just got into the national team. And the clubs that had come from Europe, asking for me to come for a trial.
During that time.
And
which clubs are these?
And Liverpool, 98.
Wow.
No ways, man.
1998, we went to the World Cup. At the World Cup, the great Kaizer Chiefs goalkeeper, Peter Balak.
Yes. I know him.
Peter Balak comes to our camp in Vichy, France. Peter Balak comes to our camp, says, "Hey, Brian, I've been seeing you on TV.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to contact you." I said, "No, my agent is here." I have a meeting with my agent. He says, "Hey, I've been speaking to Bruce Hobler. We want to get you to Liverpool."
Ooh.
I said to them, "Hey, I'm here to play the World Cup.
Yeah.
I don't want..." Because at that time, I had just had a great Nations Cup in Burkina Faso.
Yes, I remember. Yes.
And so now, my agent talks, and then I said, "Oh, no, the chairman is here."
Yeah.
So the chairman was the same hotel with us. My agent talks to the chairman with Peter Balak, promises that, no, after the World Cup, when the preseason starts, we'll allow him to come
in
for a week, train,
trials,
and then we can make decisions. Then we come back after the World Cup. Okay. Then I remember, I said, "Glenn, there's those people, they made contact." And the chairman says, no trial. If they want you, they must buy you, they must take you. Then the guy says, "No."
Yo.
So that happened. Later, Copenhagen.
Yo.
So when Spusiso Zuma was at Copenhagen.
Yes, with the blonde hair.
Yeah. We were very good mates at national team. He told his coach about me. And there was a guy who used to work for a company called Hummel.
Yes.
And the company that
Danish
sponsored Danish
sports
sports. Yeah. And the guy lived here in South Africa because they sponsored Vets.
Yeah.
And the guy was friends with my agent. The guy said, "Hey, Copenhagen are crazy about you. They want you." Started talking.
Same thing.
So the first year, and Spoo used to say, when we get to camp, they say, "Hey, Spider, you're not serious. I'm not. I have a contract."
Yeah.
The club, if the clubs don't agree, so them as well said, "No, they want me to come over, trial." And they said, "No, it's not a trial. We want to see if he likes the place.
Yeah.
And we want to see as well if we like his personality. We want to. We can't just
play. Yeah.
And so at that time, that was the time when at the club it was just me, my reserves. For many years, some came to the club, even stayed for even 2 or 3 years, and they would leave without even playing or playing one game. People don't even know who they were.
Yeah.
And
so are you not mad at the chairman at this point?
Yeah,
because everyone else is playing overseas.
So at that time, I mean, and then the last straw was when Copenhagen used to come to South Africa in PE.
Yeah.
They would have a preseason here in January.
Yeah.
In PE for 2 years, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So they'd come here and they have their preseason here. And they say, "Okay, now we're in South Africa. Can he come to PE?" Chairman said, "No, you want him, buy him." And these guys are here now.
Yeah.
And okay, at that time, I understand our league was still playing. But they would say just for a week, we just want, and they said no.
Do you know the price that they're setting? Because I've heard that they price you guys too high, apparently, these local chairmen.
Yeah, but at that time, for me, I didn't even care about the price. Because
you just want to go.
They didn't even just allow me to go. And then later, there was a Turkish club, I forgot the name, that
Fenerbahce, Galatasaray.
that wanted me. But later on, my manager, when we spoke, but again, it was a love-hate relationship. But for me then, when we started negotiating...
Yeah. So now when you're negotiating, he's turned down the Liverpool deal, Copenhagen deal, Turkish deal. Now you're negotiating for a new contract.
Yeah.
With all of that happen.
With all of that.
Yeah.
So at that time, I'm like 28, 29. Like I'm a senior player. I'm a captain. And what fucks up your mind sometimes is when you have a player that comes to your club who comes as an international.
Yes.
And that comes and then you get to see what they earn. They earn 3-4 times more than you.
Yeah.
But at that time, you know that you are part, if not, you are part of, and I'm not saying I was carrying cheeks.
Because you guys know how much everyone's getting paid. No?
Yeah.
You know?
You get to know.
You get to know, no?
Yeah, but everyone tries to keep it a secret.
Yes.
Yeah. But at that time, I mean, I was at the top of my game.
Yes.
And I'm now trying to at least, negotiate a little bit.
Of course.
So we negotiate, and then the club says no. We get to a point where now it's around March. And at that time, we were top of the league. I talked to my manager. I said, this thing is disturbing me because I'm playing. We're talking. Can't focus. Can we please talk to the club, finish this? So he makes contact with the club. And then the chairman says, no, he's not talking to me anymore. I must talk to Bobby. And there's a gentleman called Abdullah.
Yeah.
He's part of finance there. So now I start having a meeting with Bobby and Abdullah. So we have the meetings, one meeting. Second meeting, I keep saying, and I said to him, I'm talking to you now, you're going to have to go to the chairman, then you have to come back. Can I please have just one meeting with the chairman?
That's it.
We finish this.
Yeah.
So the chairman says no. But at that time, it's them telling me, so he's not saying no. So they're telling me no, the chairman says no. We keep playing around end of March. I now demand the final meeting.
Yeah.
I get the meeting.
Your heart full now.
I get the meeting. They come. They say, no, this is what's coming from the chairman and the board. What they have put on the table, they're saying, take it or leave it. So for me, and I know, over the years till today, you get fans that talk about it and say, no, you went to Sundowns because of money.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm always say to people, opinion, we all have opinions.
Yeah.
And a wise man always said, an opinion is like a fart. We all have it.
We all have one, yeah.
So
at what point did Sundowns come talking to you?
So I'll tell you how it gets to Sundowns.
Yes.
Before it gets to Sundowns.
Yes.
So for me, what hurt me was take it or leave it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so when I get home, I'm like, hey, this guy's serious that they're saying to me, take it or leave it.
You're a legend. You're the
300 games, man.
So now I look at it, I'm like, no. So I talk to my agent, I say, no, I want to get it direct from the chairman. So when I have it from the chairman that take it or leave it, then I'll decide what I want to do next.
Because you're in shock. You can't believe.
Yeah, I'm in shock that they're saying to me, no, we take it or leave it.
Dude, you're a club legend.
Yeah. So we go. Then I demand. Then I get the meeting with the chairman. We sit, and then he says, no, yes. We don't have budget from the board and everyone. We're saying what we are offering you. That's it. But I say, yeah, but it comes out as he's saying, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, not in that bad way of take it or leave it, but yes, it's take it or leave it. I'm like, said, okay, chairman, let me go think, let me go talk to my family, I'll come back to you. I go and I speak to my agent. And at that time, for a month, my agent been coming to me saying, hey, Sundowns want you. And I said to him, nah, I'm not going to
go to Sundowns.
Yeah, at that time, I had never even thought.
By the way, is Kuna in the picture here?
No, he's with the juniors.
He's with the juniors.
He's with the juniors.
Maybe
at
they're
that
not
time,
lining him up.
So at that time, it's me, it's Rowan Fernandez.
Yes, Rowan Fernandez.
Yeah, so it's Rowan Fernandez. Then there was another one who's the goalkeeper coach there now, Tladi Matibe. So now at that time, I'm like, so I sit with my family, sit with my agent, I say, okay, for me, it's about respect. And I said, for me, just to take it or leave it, for me, it's disrespectful.
Doesn't sit well.
And then I said to him, let's talk to other people. So Sundowns come. And Sundowns says to me, we know what you earn. But here's a checkbook. Just write what you want.
Hey! Oh, you're not going to write.
So I'm like, so at first I'm thinking, this guy is shitting me.
So
the guy I meet with, Joseph Ferreira, so he was the general manager. He had come from Wits. The guy is an attorney. He used to be a lawyer for the PSL.
Yeah.
So he knows every player, every PSL player's contract. He knows all of them.
Yeah.
So when you go to him, you can't shit. You can't bullshit him.
Yeah.
So he says, no, I know your contract.
Yeah.
And I know what you've been asking for. But we can double it.
Yes.
Or whatever, or just write.
Yeah.
And then I'll speak to the president, and then he'll tell me if yes or no.
Yeah.
So we speak with this guy, tell him. So first I say to Clint, I say, these guys, are they serious? He says, yeah. I says, okay. So we give them a number. They say, okay. They say, no, we can sign now. I say, no. Let me go, and then we'll come back to you. So at the time, I'm tempted to tell the numbers.
No, you can't. It's past now. It's in the past now.
Let me give you an example.
Yes.
I'll give you an example of. So let's say.
Those are big numbers.
Yeah. So I'll give you an example, but I'll give you an accurate example of even the money that I ended up saying, okay, if you give me this, I'll sign today. They still said no.
This is to Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, got you.
And so it came to a point where, let's say I was earning $10,000.
Got you.
Then the club says to me, your new contract will only give you an increase of $4,000.
Yeah, so it's 14 now.
Like 40%,
Yeah. So I said to them, all of these years, you've been saying this.
Yes.
And so the reason now we have to jump is because all of these years, you have been giving promises and you haven't been giving me. So now we have to get to where all the other senior players are, all the internationals are.
Yes.
And at that time, I mean, we've just we had just had the doctor had just retired, saying I was never even close to where he is. And so the club says no. So now, from that, they say no, we're only giving you an increase of $4,000. And so we, so now I want $20,000 instead of 14.
Yeah.
But I can back it up.
Yeah.
So they say, no, you can't have a 100% increase. But I'm saying, I'm giving you a number of where there's players that are earning that in the club. And I'm the senior player, I'm the captain. How is it then that, forget about it's 100, but rightfully so, I have to be part of the highest earners. They refuse.
Wow.
So now from there, Sundowns say, okay, you're earning 10. We'll give you 30.
Woo!
I'm like, well, and I talked to my agent to say, nah, man. So I start using Sundowns as a bargaining.
To say, hey, Sundowns, you're going to give me 30.
So I go back there. Then finally, I accept. I said to my agent, you know what? I love the club. They want to give me 14. Tell them, if they give me 16, I'll sign today.
Okay.
Wow, man.
I don't care about... I said, if they give me 16, I will sign today.
Wow.
He goes, they say, no. The offer they gave you guys is take it or leave it. And that's when I said, okay, now it's easy to make a decision. And for me, one of the things that made me make my decision, over and above the disrespect with take it or leave it offer was I looked at some of the Chiefs icons that growing up, and at that time I said, I look at Teenage Ladler. He's a god to me.
Yeah.
And I would never put myself in the same.
Yeah.
But I look at him, I'm like, what is he doing with the club? What is,
Yes.
and I looked at the Ace Dwelling. I said, and then I said, who am I to think when I retire, the club will treat me better than Teenage Ladler?
And you have to take care of your family.
So I said, then I have to be realistic.
Yeah, you have to be realistic, yeah.
So started speaking to Sundowns. I told that guy, I said, I want to have a call with the president direct if he doesn't want to meet. I just want one thing from him that he can.
This is Mr. Patrice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy said, no problem. Had a call with him. Said, okay, if I'm coming to you, I want to share with you what I want to do when I stop playing. I want to share with you. And only one of the reasons I'm coming to you is I want to learn from you because I want to be a businessman.
Ooh, smart.
Beautiful.
And I said to him, and this is what I always tell people, I said, if there's two people that are my heroes, that are my role models, it's Kaizer and Sikhosana. And I tell people why, because they from football they became businessmen.
Of course, and look at
yeah. So they built empires.
Empires, yeah.
Kaizer was 26 years old when he started Kaizer Chiefs.
That's crazy.
And I always ask people, tell me any 26-year-old today that's playing that can start such a
monster,
a global brand. So he's part of the special breed of like your Malcolm X's and all of those for me. He's part of a special breed.
So you've got the chairman's number on your phone, and Patrice's number on your phone.
Yes.
Wow. You see their statuses on WhatsApp, everything. Wow, makes sense, man. Wouldn't you do the same, Penduka?
Yeah, totally makes sense, bro.
You have to take care of your family.
Yeah. And you're seeing the legends that you look up to and what they've become afterwards, and you want to do better,
Yeah.
And be greater as well.
Yeah.
And then when you cross over to Sundowns now, what are the fans saying? What is everyone saying?
Jeez, till today.
That's crazy, ne?
So before I get there, so when I cross over to Sundowns, like I said, some of the stuff that I spoke to Mr. Motsepe was wanting to learn business.
Yes.
And having these two icons being my role models, I don't know, funny, early in my 20s, I always had this thing that I'm going to own a football club one day.
Wow.
And so I had that in mind that I know I will own a football club one day. So now when I moved to Sundowns, I looked at him, and I said to him, when I stop, I want to work here at this club and I want to be CEO here.
Yeah.
He said, no.
Of Sundowns?
Yeah.
Wow.
I told him direct. I said, I want to be CEO here.
Yes.
And when I stop, I want to run the club.
Yeah.
And I want to take it to the next level. I said to him, I can share with you what I've learned, what it achieves, bring it here and take this club to the, And he said, cool. So now I move over. I had so many fans. I mean, one of the guys that gave me my nickname, he was angry with me.
Yeah.
Saddam. Saddam.
Sramak.
Yeah, so he was the one who gave me the nickname Spider.
Wow.
His son, you see...
Cellular.
Yeah. Cellular, when he was like this little, when he began to love Chiefs and stuff, he was crazy about me.
Yeah.
And when I moved, I broke his heart.
You lost network.
But we're good friends now. He's a good boy.
Yeah.
I'm proud of him, what he's doing on the space, on the digital space. But so now I had fans that were angry with me for moving.
Yeah.
And then I had, if there's one thing that I always, and I never talk about so much, but I never take it and take that to go to my head.
Yeah.
But I have so many fans that tell me that I moved to Sundowns because of you. I left Chiefs.
Wow.
Are you serious?
Wow.
I've had that from when I moved. I've had that even till today. I meet fans. So today I meet some that tell me I'm supporting Sundowns now. I went to Sundowns because of you. I left Chiefs. Wow. And but when you left, and I never went back.
Yeah.
I have some that when I left, they went back.
Do you think it would have been the same if you went to Pirates?
Betrayal. No.
It would have been worse.
They would have hate you instead.
Yeah, they would have. And
They were going to burn your house down.
yeah, and I came close to playing for Pirates.
Oh, no way, man.
No way, bro.
When I was at Sundowns.
Yes.
So I started having problems with management.
Yes.
I got to a point I was so angry, but some Pirates knew that my contract was finished.
Yeah.
Floyd Mbele, and so they started talking to me, and I promised them, but I knew I wanted to fix my things.
Yeah, so
So I'll tell you the story, what happened there. Yeah. But I mean, with me moving to Sundowns,
of course,
and then I get there. I mean, I remember my first game, at Soccer City. And then we went to penalties.
It was against Chiefs.
Yeah, against Chiefs.
Yes.
And then I saved the penalty against David Kanamea, I remember.
But it looked personal. That penalty should have looked personal for you because you were clapping your hands or something.
Yeah.
And they would miss every time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and then I saved, and then I celebrated.
Yeah.
So for me, this thing what I don't understand, I said I wouldn't be able to do it. That if I move to a club, if I play against my former club, if I score, then I don't celebrate. I say no for respect. I wouldn't. I went on. I celebrated. These are moments that you can never have back. You are depriving yourself.
Yes.
Moments that you're not gonna have again. You've scored a goal.
Basking it.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
So now. No, for me, I said no.
Fuck it.
I went crazy.
I'm the fans throwing things at you at this moment.
They were. I went crazy and I went to the Chiefs man. I went past there. Because I mean, at some point then it became personal.
Yeah, it is.
And I'll tell you what, one of the things that happened for me that brought me back and said, okay, and understood that, this is a job. But again, for me, Chiefs will always be family. I remember just after moving to Sundowns, my second game in the league, we played against Swallows in Mamelodi. And 80th, about 70 minutes into the game, Alfred Piri kicked me my nose. I broke my nose and fracture, broken. And I tried to finish the game, but I couldn't. And they took me straight to hospital. They said, no, fracture, I have to do operation. They had to operate on me. I slept at the hospital. The next morning when I switched my phone off, first call I got was from Mrs. Mutaung.
Wow.
To wish me well.
Okay.
And because at the club, at the time when I was captain, myself, Thabo Moki, Cyril, we had a very close relationship with Mrs. Mutaung.
Okay. That's when you're like, okay, no, this is
and,
deeper than soccer.
Yeah. So the first call I got was from her, wishing me well and wishing me good luck, everything. And
So where did it start going wrong at Sundowns? Because you mentioned you were having issues with management.
When Pirates came.
So when Pirates came, so before I get there, so I get to Sundowns.
Yes.
So I get there, so I have a meeting with the president. He says, no, I'm going to build my team around you.
Yeah.
Help me get players. Hey, I was getting players, eh? And then the first thing, before the league starts,
what do you mean you were getting players? You were recommending?
I was recruiting players.
You were recruiting?
Yeah.
Wow. Like, let's get let's...
Thabo Moki said, my boy, come.
Yes.
Almost came.
Yes.
Cyril Nzama almost came.
Yo, my guy.
The ones that followed was Kanamea, Jabulani Mendu. So I was going. So I wanted to build the club there.
Yes, got you.
But besides that, I mean, then a week before the league starts, so the president says, I want to have a welcome party for all the new players. So after me, then they signed Peter Ndlovu, signed Ezrom Nyandoro. So me and Peter were the biggest players that they had signed at the time. Then the president says, no, I want a welcome party for the whole team at my house. So we go to his house in Princeton.
Whoa.
We go there, and so the party, so we had Trumpis
Yes.
singing for us live
Yeah.
at his house.
Yeah.
And I remember, the Trumpis guys had always been my friends for long. I mean, I've been friends with a lot of guys in music.
Yeah. Great party, eh?
A great party.
P. Diddy vibes, yeah?
No. No. So we get to the house, then there's a party, then these guys come, and imagine we were sitting by the pool.
Yes.
Big speaker. So Don Laka was managing that because the president was close friends with Don
Laka, yeah.
So at that time, I remember that weekend they had a gig in Botswana. So he says, "Hey, these guys have." He says, "I want them. My son wants them. They must be here."
Yeah.
They had to cancel the gig in Botswana.
Wow.
They said, "No, these guys had already paid us." He says, "No." He gave them money to pay those guys back.
Yes.
And then he paid them. He paid them double.
To book, yeah.
And they only played 4 songs, man. Only played 4 songs.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, damn, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were. I mean, my life at Sundowns. Yeah. I remember my first game.
Yeah.
Our first game we played in Cape Town.
Yeah.
First league game. We played Cape Town playing Santos, and my wife heavily pregnant, and so I leave. We leave 2 days before we leave, and I don't know. We just had this thing that. And so my firstborn was due a week later. But just that day, just going, I called my mom to come and stay with them. And my mom she was uneasy, I don't know, just the feeling. So she called my wife's older brother that he must be on standby.
Yeah.
That they will call him if anything.
Yeah.
But at that time, I'm relaxed. I'm thinking, no, only a week or 2 later, go to Cape Town. Funny, on the same night, so there in camp, I'm sharing a room with Nilo and Stanley, the twins. Remember the twins?
Yes.
Nilo and Stanley. And Nilo and Stanley shares a birthday with my son now. So the night before in camp, I'm with Neil. I remember at 2 a.m., my mom calls me, says, hey, your wife is there. I think we're going to go to the hospital.
Oh, shit.
Like, hey, around 5, they call me again, 5 a.m. They call me again. I call. So the coach was Paul Deleza.
Yeah.
And Neil Tovey. I call Neil Tovey. I say, hey, I think my wife is going to give birth today. And he says, hey, you're the captain, and you have to start the game. Hey, yes, I don't know, but I'm just telling you. He says, hey, okay. So he tells the coach, and they send a message to Patrice. He says, no, book him on the first flight back to Joburg now.
Wow, man.
So they booked me on the flight. The only flight I could get was 9 a.m. Booked me on the flight 9 a.m. Says, no, book him on the flight. I'll come back with him on my private jet.
Wow. Yes.
Like, what? So they booked me, I go. Unfortunately, my son was born at just before 11.
Yeah.
And I just landed at the time.
Yeah.
So land, my agent drives me from the airport, go to Morningside Hospital, Morningside Clinic there. But what they did was, the doctor said, okay, he's on his way. Yeah. So we won't give him the first wash. We'll wait for him.
They
wait for me to come and give him
the first wash.
Yeah. No, they cut it and they just left him not to wash him.
Yes.
So I came and I spent. I got there at about 12. I spent about 3 hours with him.
Yeah.
The boss sent a driver to come pick me up from the hospital to Lanseria.
Yeah. First time in a private jet?
First time.
What does it look like?
Jeez.
It's crazy, no?
Yeah, but again, I was excited. But now when I get on the plane, now I'm nervous. I'm sitting with the president.
Yeah.
I'm sitting with the club owner now, and I'm going to play. So now what are we going to chat about?
So you haven't seen him since that meeting where you had your requests or demands? Or you'd seen him in...
No, I haven't seen him since Trophies.
Oh, yeah, the part.
Yes. So now I'm sitting with the...
Now you can't fuck up.
Now I'm sitting with the boss. Like, chief. I was excited, but now, now later on, even later in life, when I look at it, I'm like, damn. The things that he did, the things that they went on and length to do. I mean, to fly me and bring me to come back on a private jet. And I went. So from the airport, the game was at 8. From the airport, we went straight to the stadium. I changed in the car. Got there. And then we played 1-1 with Santos that game.
But you had a good game.
Yeah, I had a good game.
Yeah.
I had a good game.
Man.
And that was my beginning of my life at Sundowns.
Because it sounds like you're living soft there. You're living like a king there.
Yeah, for me, the things that happen there is like it's like a movie.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's things that we would see Ronaldo and Messi in Europe do. It happened, not in South Africa. I mean, but I experienced that, and
So now you're getting this respect, you're getting this love, being treated like a king. Where does it all start going wrong then?
So now, the first year, everything goes well. We changed the coach. Then we were sponsored by Diadora.
Yeah.
So now I'm a Nike athlete. And now I'm a bit close to the guys who's a general manager. Now they tell me, hey, the sponsor and the guys that were from Diadora, I knew them very well. One of them is a gentleman from Alex, who was a small shareholder there, Ubra George Moyo. So they say, no, they're having problems with Diadora Italy. They're pulling out. So they're going to stop sponsoring Sundowns. So Sundowns must look for a sponsor. Okay. So I asked the boss, I said, I can talk to Nike.
Wow.
He said, sure. I said, yeah. He said, okay, do it. So I speak to Nike. So Nike said, no, he's serious. I said, no. So that was my first, no. So that was, Nike was my second deal.
Okay.
So for me to say to him that, but this one, I was never friends with the Guptas.
Yes.
So, you remember Sahara Computers?
Yes, the Guptas. Yeah.
So Sahara.
That's how I know them. Yeah. They owned it. Yeah.
So when Sahara came to sponsor Sundown,
Yes.
I brokered the deal.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So I started brokering deals for sponsorship.
Yes.
Whilst I was a player.
Yeah, which was your intention? You said you wanted to.
So, and at that time, I had just started a magazine with Walter Mukwena. So I started a soccer magazine whilst I was still a player.
Yeah, you were thinking.
So the magazine Soccer Life 442,
Oh, wow.
that was my magazine. I started with Walter.
Yeah.
And before I went to Sundowns, when we were looking for a funder,
Yeah.
Walter said, no, let's go to Patrice.
So
So Walter went. I said, no, I can't go. I play for Chiefs. So at the time, he went. And Patrice said, no, go to this guy. He took us to a guy called Konimulusi.
yeah,
Konimulusi was the head of Jonic Publishing.
got you.
And so we got there and we did the deal with Jonic Publishing. And we ran the magazine, but we ended up selling our stake.
So now you got Nike as a second deal.
So now I get so now I get Sahara.
Yes.
So Sahara, we signed with Sahara. I used to do, you remember when they had the A1GP?
Yes.
Remember A1GP at Kalami?
Yeah. Good times.
So my guy there, that was my friend, was their confidant, was a guy called Gary Naidu. The guy that used to work for them. So yes, did the deal. Then Nike. So then did the Nike deal. So from then on, then I was sponsored by Chrysler Jeep.
Yeah.
And so being sponsored by Chrysler Jeep, and then I asked the boss, why don't we have cars here? Chiefs have cars.
Yeah.
Chiefs at Nissan, Pirates at Nissan. He says, I don't know, these people in the office, they stuck to the... So one of the things that caused problems for me was then he started comparing me with the people in the office.
Oh.
And sometimes when we're in meetings, to a point where everyone now started calling me the blue-eyed boy and the favorite.
Oh.
Where we'd have meetings with all the players. Like we'd have there'd be 100 people. There'd be the players from the first team, coaches from the development, everyone, management. We'd have meetings with the boss. And the boss would ask questions. Everyone's scared to answer. Then I would answer, like I told you, I'd speak my mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would answer. And to a point where then, at some point, he would always say to them, why are you not like Brian? You know. And
Hey, so you showed the incompetence.
Causing my problems.
You showed the incompetence, basically.
Yeah. So then I went on, spoke to Chrysler Jeep. Then Chrysler, so I was sponsored by Jeep, and I knew people at the head office. And then they got me in touch with the head office, with the chairman of Jeep Chrysler South Africa. Spoke to him, and then I took Sundowns there. Did the deal. Chrysler sponsored Sundowns.
But let's be honest, don't you think Sundowns is killing soccer? I mean, they just buy all the best players. They win every single year. It's not fun anymore.
Yeah. Including not just professional, even the young boys.
Is it?
Even a lot of young players that are in your academies.
Good academies, yeah.
Academies, most of them, they're already spoken for.
Is that good for football, according to you?
It's good for the players. They get in the book, but it's not good for football.
Yes.
And themselves, the players as well. I mean, some players you find you were playing at Pirates or at Chiefs, then you go there. You used to play 30 games a season.
Yeah.
Now you go to Sundowns, you're only playing 10. Then the next season you're even playing less.
Yeah.
But you're happy with the money coming in. But 3-4 years later, if it happens, you leave Sundowns. When you leave, you've wasted so much time sitting on the bench that going to your next club. And again, I always tell players that if you leave Sundowns, have not been playing, so now you're leaving Sundowns as a reject.
Okay.
You're not going to go to Chiefs.
Yeah, no, you can't.
You're not going to go to Pirates.
No,
it's highly unlikely.
You have to prove yourself again.
Yeah, including playing for Chiefs. This is what I always told Kune and any youngster, that to play for Chiefs as a youngster is a gift and a curse. And in this way, that to play for Chiefs, for you to stay there 10 plus years, you have to be at the top of your game week in, week out. And whereas if you come to Chiefs as a 25-year-old, means you've played pro from when you were 18, 19 for smaller clubs, you've grown, you've grown within the game, the industry now. Now you can play for a bigger club.
And that pressure is only for 5-6 years.
But with playing for Chiefs as a youngster, you don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
The bad thing with it is that, again, once you don't make it, if you sign as an 18-year-old, 4 years later you didn't make it.
Yeah.
When you leave there, you started your career here, so it's only going to be downhill.
Yeah.
Chances of you as a 30-year-old maybe going back to Chiefs again are slim.
Yeah.
Similar, playing for Pirates as a youngster, playing for Sundowns as a youngster, is that from there, it's going to be downhill.
Chiefs or Sundowns, one must go. According to you, Tate Brian BALOYI, one must go. Which one must go?
One must go.
Yeah.
Sundowns.
With their private jets.
I was flying with him, man.
They must fly.
I appreciated them, but...
I want to talk about Bafana Bafana. 2002, 2002. We had a great World Cup. I think if we beat Spain, we're going to go to the next round. And then, who was it? Was it Andre Aronson? Made a mistake.
Yeah.
If you were the keeper, do you think you would have made that mistake?
No, but again, with football is a game of mistakes.
Yeah.
And you're not going to play and not make one. So I think for me, the key is always trying not to make the next mistake.
Yeah.
And goalkeeping is it's more mental than the physical. And the mental part of it is, I think in that game, if you look even to that, to that third goal, I think Andre wasn't settled that whole game. And
because we're all rooting for you, eh?
Yeah, bro.
Because when he made that mistake, we're like, it should have been Balo.
Yeah. But
let me tell you about that World Cup.
Yeah.
There's one Grootman, I know people been talking about him now with the issue with Tito about number 10. I never got to talk to him and understand what were the politics. And till this day, one day maybe he will tell me. For me, not to make the 2002 World Cup squad.
Yeah.
For me, it was purely based on politics. And after coming back from '98 from the World Cup, 2002 World Cup. I mean, that's the season we had just won the Mandela Cup with Chiefs. That we had just done the Fat Alice.
But when you say politics, where does it come from? From the top? Like, did you sleep with someone's wife from the top or something? What are the politics? Because I mean, it's the Bafana Bafana, right?
Yeah.
You must take the best players.
That's
Simple.
it. Put your best foot forward, best players forward.
Yeah, for
Because
me,
you want to win, right?
For me, the Grootman would have to. I know it's a coach's decision to pick wherever they want to.
So the coach didn't like it.
That's Jomasona.
Oh,
Yeah, that was.
But for me, funny, 98, he's the one who took me to Burkina Faso.
Yes.
so what changed then?
That's what I'm saying. Then 4 years later, we go to the World Cup. Then he's not taking me. And like I said, at that time, we had just won the Coca-Cola Cup. We had beaten him 5-1. We maybe I don't know. He had grudge or what. But for me,
Have you never spoken to him since?
About it?
Yeah, you've never.
No, I've never.
Wow.
I think whilst I was playing, it's something that I never thought about.
Of course.
Because I'm one person who doesn't hold grudges.
Yeah.
But after retiring, it's something that when I look back, and I started asking myself questions and I looked at my seasons, 2001, 2002, then I asked myself a question. Why did this man leave me? And I'm saying, even if I didn't make it as number one, out of the 3 goalkeepers,
You take
I don't make it. So for me, it was Grootman needs to just. I'm not saying I'm entitled, but I just want to know why you didn't take me.
We all wanted to know it.
We did.
Yeah.
And also another thing, before the World Cup in '98, a name popped up we've never heard of. Hans Vonk. Right? We knew Brian BALOYI, we knew Andre Aronson. Those are our guys.
Yeah.
Like, how did you take that? Because Philip Trouzier came with Pierre Issa, Hans Vonk. Now your position is in danger. What is going on through your head? How is it like when you meet him on the pitch?
Yeah, I took it personal, I must say.
Hey.
More especially for me, I think for the last few years, then from when we won the Nations Cup in '96.
Yeah, '98 or '96 one, yeah.
And then building up to the World Cup in '98. And myself, Benny. Myself and Benny.
98, Burkina Faso, man.
And Quentin Fortune. We were the next generation that just graduated from the under 23s.
Oh, yes.
And when Clive Barker put us into the team in '97, when we went to Saudi Arabia, at that time he had players that he couldn't get, but then there was pressure on him that he needs to put in new blood into the team, younger, and so. He gave us a debut against Holland at Soccer City in '97. Benny and myself, Benny and Quentin, Delron Buckley. So from then, I think '98 when they fired him, when Jomo then took over, then he had a mix of the young and the old.
I want to go back to Bafana Bafana, man, because in the year 2000, you guys played against Brazil in the Olympics. You were in the team. You beat them 3-1.
Yeah.
And Ronaldinho was in the team.
Yeah.
Just to explain how good that team was.
Yeah.
How come you guys never had momentum to carry on? Like,
But if you look at the players that were in that team,
yeah.
there's players that went on to do amazing things individually.
Oh, okay.
As a team, then,
Yes.
something wrong with us.
Yes.
With the national team,
Yes.
because that was the next generation after the 96 generation,
Yeah.
the 96, 98 generation.
Yeah.
So the 2000 generation, and luckily we're still in touch. We have a WhatsApp group. We tried to do a reunion actually in 2020.
Wow.
Then COVID hit when we were planning the reunion. But what for me, I think if you look at that team, you had Benny McCarthy, you had Quinton Fortune, Delron Barkley, Sebonga Nomvete, went to play in Italy.
Yes.
So you have
Stephen Pienaar,
then
wasn't
you have, no, Steve Pienaar was not there. It was Steve Lekolea. You had Chipa Lekolea. You had Abraham Nteo in the middle.
My money
Matthew Booth. You had Fabian McCarthy. You had Stanton Fredericks, who went on to play. I mean, in Switzerland, went on to play.
Lucas was
Went on to play in Russia and in Greece.
Yeah.
So individually, the players within the team went on to achieve. But for me, I think from 96, it was just a downward spiral.
Yeah, I agree.
And
but you guys tried, Shem. You gave us some good memories, man. Some good nights.
Man. I think for me, biggest thing for me with playing for national team was always just putting on that jersey.
And
when you're there on the field, when you're singing the national anthem,
it's too much.
The emotion and the that used to it's it's just that and saving a penalty for me was like having an orgasm.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that.
He saved a lot of penalties, man.
So you had a lot of orgasms.
Hey, bro, he was coming too many times, bro, on the pitch.
We want to play a game with you, ne? Thanks to our friends at Martell. We've got a new segment. It's called Martell the Truth. Which is something that you have no problems with doing.
Okay.
Yeah. So just like Martell, we've got 5 questions for you. And you need to answer them as bold and as authentic as you can.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Cool. Here's the first question. Ne? Have you ever been in a relationship with someone in the industry that no one knows about?
In the industry, meaning entertainment industry.
Yeah. Like someone you dated, maybe a SABC One presenter back then.
Or Miss South Africa at some point.
Yeah. Yes.
What?
And
I think I know that Miss South Africa.
Can you tell us what she was? Was she Miss South Africa?
no, I didn't tell. Yeah, I've been with my wife since 99. I got married 2001. But yeah, before. Obviously, being one of the biggest players at Chiefs.
Yeah.
Rolling with Dr. Kumalo. But I told you, with Doc, myself and Tabo, after the games, we wanted to be around him for the entertainment. Because, at Joburg Stadium.
Yeah.
I forgot what we used to call it was Saturday Night Fever. The games there. Patco coined them Saturday Night Fever. After the games, we'd go.
Yeah.
Convoy of like 20 cars. Lindelani Mkizes, you name them.
Yeah.
Even before, I was friends with Boom Shaka, with Theo and them.
Yeah.
Been friends with Trompies, like I said, Tebe.
Yeah.
So we used, and back then, they asked me, and I refused.
Yeah.
I could have been a video vixen.
Yeah. Who's that? Bob My Band.
Bob My Band, don't tell him in some videos. Yeah.
So I refused to be in music videos.
But you didn't have any stories come out. It's not like you were a playboy.
No,
you didn't have any stories come out.
Just good people.
Yeah, no. You're focused on your orgasms and saving penalties. We've heard plenty of stories about parties on and off the field. Who was the wildest teammate you ever partied with?
Sure. Mark Fish.
Mark, for real.
Mark Fish.
No way.
Mark Fish by
Yo.
by a mile.
He used to get white boy drunk or something.
Yeah. It's just, Mark Fish.
You should drink like a surname.
Did we interview once? Did we say,
we did.
He said he did cocaine and stuff. No?
Yeah, he said he did coke, drugs,
coke and stuff.
got into it.
And we were best buddies, and we he's like two days older than me, so we almost share a birthday. So March 16 is March 14th.
Yeah.
And I remember when he got his first marriage. He first got married in Cape Town. But exactly. But if you look at the crowd that he hung around.
His
first wife. I mean, people that have been with James Small and stuff. So you understand when he says he did coke, then you would understand where he came from.
Yeah, I mean, George Crew passed away in the club.
Great guy.
I know. Great guy. The other one that parties but doesn't drink till today. And most guys would never understand. This guy loves partying. Even when he got into the club, he's the first one to dance. Peter and Love.
For real.
He said, rude boy. Bambatlat. That man.
Because the ones that don't drink are a problem. The ones that don't drink. Next question. Have you ever been broke or mismanaged your money?
Yes, it happens to all of us, man. To the best of us.
Yeah. That's how you learn.
That's how you learn. And like I said, as human beings, we learn through experiences. And unfortunately, schools doesn't teach us about money. And the industry itself, I think the industry, not only football, but entertainment industry in a whole, everything, can do better in terms of teaching artists about how to handle money. And understanding that, so this is what I now, when I talk to young boys, I tell them, you must understand. So to be a musician or footballer, you're not different from someone of Otswarang Doto.
Yes.
You're
right.
not different.
Yes.
Because someone is someone that doesn't know nothing about money, and money comes. So football, when you follow where footballers come from townships, you come from rural communities. Today is changing.
Yeah.
I must say I'm proud of the generation now.
Yeah.
They're doing much better.
Yeah.
And the generation that just been retiring, they're doing much better in terms of going into business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Diversifying.
And of which we never got to why we had a fight at Sundowns.
Oh, yes.
So Sundowns.
Wasn't it because
He was comparing you to the staff.
No, so the big fight now was first when I got there, I signed 3 years. After my 3-year contract ends, I'm sitting with the boss now, negotiating my next contract. The boss says, Emona, the guys there, they're saying, you now a businessman, you don't want to play anymore. I'm like, what? Then I'm like, oh, shit. Then at that time, I own a Capellas with Pop Mabena at Newtown.
Yeah, was that yours?
Oh, you guys owned that.
You guys owned that?
Yeah.
Wow, I used to play there.
Yeah, that was
I used
mine.
to book me there.
Yes, sir. That was mine and Bob Mabena.
Oh, shut up.
Remember at that time, Kai FM was just...
Yeah, on top, yes.
Yes. And another story, Bob. So when I went to Capellos, I wanted to buy Capellos. So Capellos, they had a Capellos at investment cars at Bryanston.
So at Bryanston Square as well.
So at Bryanston, they had a Capellos inside there.
Yes.
At the investment car. So it was a small... So I wanted to buy that.
Yeah.
So once I was now almost signing off, so these guys convinced me. They say, no, man, Bob Mabena is opening Newtown.
Newtown, yeah.
No, he says he wants to speak to you. I say, no, I'm fine here.
Yeah.
They say, no. Then he gets my number. He calls me. Then he convinces me, hey, Mana, I'm a BALOYI. My dad is a BALOYI. We must sit. We cousins. We must talk.
Yeah.
So that's how we had a chat. And then we thought, then we did it together.
Awesome. And that's when they started thinking you're more of a businessman.
So now So I say to him, but I told you, and I want
wanna come here.
I want to be a businessman. But I said to them, is my business interfering with? Have I missed training? No.
No.
Have I come to training late? No.
No.
So now why this
professional,
excuse?
Yeah.
And then they said, so we now had to. So the reason I stayed at Sundowns for 7 years was then I had to sign a 1-year contract.
Yeah.
After my first step.
Yes.
The 1-year contract was now you have to prove yourself that you still want to play.
Oh.
So I said, okay. So I signed the 1-year contract.
Yeah.
I played. I was one of the best players for that season.
Wow.
I was hurtful. That's when I almost moved to Pirates.
Yes.
But then I came
topped
back
it
to
up.
my senses and then I signed another 3-year contract.
And here we are.
I stayed.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What's the biggest mistake you've made in your career that you regret?
On the field.
Can be on the. Let's go on the field. No.
Nah, just in general.
Just in
during your
general.
playing life.
During my playing life,
Because on the field it has to be dynamos when
Whatever you that was.
they scored from the halfway line. Eh?
no, that's Al Ali.
Oh, bloody Allah, please. Fucking hell.
Yeah, no, I would say not being firm enough with the club pushing to go overseas.
Oh.
Yeah, because when I look at it, when I look on hindsight, I was like, I could have played, but yeah.
Prof Ryan, that never made sense to me. Why
Just
you'd
like-
never leave? Why you never left? It never made
Just like it
sense.
doesn't make
Because
sense
I used to
why-
watch the EPL,
Yeah.
and you were better than most of the keepers there. Sorry to cut you off.
So no. Same way it doesn't make sense with Kune. Now we sort of get an insight of how they are running things. When players who are great, you, Kune,
Yeah.
best keeper probably in the world during your peak.
And remember with Kune, and I used to say this a lot when he came through, and I saw myself in him.
Yeah.
And I used to say that, I always used to tell him, I'm putting this out there in the universe because I want you to go.
Yeah.
I want to see you. I want to play overseas through you.
Oh, vicariously.
And I said, I know I never, but I believe that he could.
Yes.
And
Yeah, man. Which club would have wanted to play for overseas?
overseas, it would have been back then. It would have been Liverpool.
Shucks,
And
man.
Liverpool because of
And they didn't have good keepers that time.
and then David James.
Yeah.
And there's times where they had David James.
Yeah.
And funny,
James.
I have 2 shirts from David James.
Yeah.
I have a shirt from him when we played against him with England, and then we played against Liverpool, and then we changed shirts. So I have 2 shirts from him.
And you could have taken his shirt for real.
I know his nickname, they used to call him Calamity. Yeah.
Okay, last question for Martell the Truth. So far, so good, ne?
Yeah, so far,
Nothing
so
but
good.
the truth.
Yeah.
What's the wildest rumor you've heard about yourself, and was it true? Maybe you got a small penis or something.
Geez, the wildest rumor I've heard about me. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because you don't look like someone who really cares about what people think.
Yeah,
You just keep it moving. you know?
I don't care about what people think. There was a time there was rumors that I was gay. and I was like, Jeez, I know
That's
my 20-year-old son is going to be watching this. I wanted to say the word that I love.
Yeah.
So that I'll pack. I love women.
Yeah.
I love my wife. I love
Just say you love saving penalties.
I love saving penalties. Yeah, and there's no way in hell.
When people thought, you remember that you always used to have this small bag in the goalpost, and people said you're tagata at some point.
Yes, for every penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, with the bag.
The bag.
Remember the bag?
You know, with the bag, how it started just as something, just playing around. it started as something that I'd seen in the UK, Peter Shelton and them doing it there. And I asked my agent when just Lucas had just moved to to England with all the other guys, Mark Fish and them. So I asked my agent, I want a bag. I want a glove bag.
Yeah.
I see those guys carrying a glove bag and a towel, and so I want to do that. So he got me the glove bag, got me gloves from there. Yeah. Then I kept it. And then I started seeing this, people were having interest in this. But the interest then came from opposition, thinking that I have Muthi in there. Then at that time, I had been saying Vugile. So I'm like, okay, so I understood. So the biggest part of my game was playing mind games.
Yes, with the opponents.
Yes. So that was the biggest part of my game. So Mina, when we go onto the tunnel, from the dressing room, in the dressing room, I'm the one who's going to be singing and doing ours. But when you get to the tunnel, when the opponents come here, I'm the first one to be swearing at them. I'm the first one to be just chirping and talking.
Getting in their heads.
Yeah. And even guys that know that we are friends.
Yes,
so I'm the first one.
Yeah.
So on the field, I'm the first one. I'll tell you some of the guys. I mean, Morgan Goat, we became friends with Morgan from me telling him on the field that playing against Cosmos and him telling Jomo, or maybe it's one of the things that never made the team then later. So Morgan, so I would tell them, hey, stop kicking my boys because you're earning $2,000 and today in this match, our match bonus is 3,000. So I'll pay your salary. Stop kicking my boys.
During the game.
So half time they would tell Jomo what I said. So me, myself and Tabang Libis and Tabo Mook. So that's what we would. When we played Cosmos.
You had war.
So we were always, but I was the one always chirping. So when this back thing came, I understood, these people are worried about the back. So no, I mustn't go away. I must keep it.
Must make them believe you're
so when they start asking what's in there, there's my my stuff here. So even today, when people ask me, I say, we all have Abu Koko bait. You know, Koko among Shien or something. So what Koko thing Ibambela? So I tell them, you must never defy your grandmother. So I tell them, grandma left me with a handkerchief in a snake. To keep it here.
No, brilliant.
Shout out.
Muthi Prime BALOYI, thank you, man. That was Martell The Truth. But honestly speaking, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much is the Muthi in local football?
It's rough. To a point where to a point where even clubs like Vets University. Vets, the club that people knew, it's Club Yabelung.
Yes.
Club like Hellenic. We're using Muthi.
The Greek gods.
We're using Muthi. But as time went on, when one was like, in our mid-20s, myself and Tabo, we got to a point where we were like, man, this Muthi thing. And I think one of the reasons why we had a close relationship with Mrs. Mutaung was at that time we started now bringing in the pastors from Rema Church. So, and one of the pastors there is a former Kaizer Chiefs legend, Computer Lamula, at Rema. So we would pray and stuff. So when we got to a point where we refused to use Muthi, then they would, fight with you. But
what kind of things were they making you do? Like, if it's Muthi, content Nyakeza, or what? Like, obviously you have to participate.
Chickens running around.
Yeah, so you meet a train, just
different clubs. Tina, we knew that, the kit man is going to take your kit. We knew after playing a cup final, they don't allow us to change the jersey. They have to go wash it first, and then you can change with the opponents. We knew that our jersey, yes, they're doing something. In the dressing room, sometimes they would ban Impepo, of which you'd get with all the other clubs. But other clubs, they will tell you, most guys will tell you, hey, they would take them or they would bring an inyanga
Yeah.
to the camp.
Whoa.
Chickens, or they slaughter, they would cut them. So maybe one thing we would say, I would don't want to be cut.
Yeah.
Do your thing,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
But we, it got to a point where we say, no. And for me, it always was like.
But do you think it's right for people to frown upon that because it's African practices?
It's African practices. For me, no. I mean, knowing what I know now. But again, it's a matter of understanding, and it's a matter of understanding spirituality and religion, and then understanding witchcraft. Then on the
Oh, okay.
So as a person, when you understand that, right now I'm spiritual.
Yes, got you.
I'm not religious. I don't believe in religion.
Yes.
And understanding the spiritual realm and understanding what happens there. Then you understand that then obviously people that would use these things in a bad way, But again, I've always said, if Muthi really worked in sports, Africa would have won the World Cup long time ago.
Maybe that's why we're not winning.
Because not only South Africa, most of the other
African countries,
Of course.
use Muthi. So
And then France goes and wins it with black players that don't use
so
Muthi.
for me, I've always said, if Muthi really worked, then we would have won the World Cup long time ago.
Penduka, you got a question for?
Yeah. There was always that rivalry between you, or the media blew it up between you and Legs of Thunder, Jerry Sikhosana, right?
Yeah.
Did that ever get in your head when it was derby time? And then the second question was, which strikers did you truly fear? Like really, you're like, fuck, not this guy.
So with Jerry, here it goes. With Jerry, we're best buddies. Till today, we work together at Hollywood Bets.
Yes.
The reason I'm there is because of him. He was there first. And then a year later, he called me and said, hey, I'm working with these people. I think we can work well together. I'm going to recommend you. He did. And now 7 years later, I'm still there. We're working together. We're buddies. We grew up together at school. We used to play together before we turned professional.
In Alex.
So Alex and Tembisa, I don't know why back then they said Alex and Tembisa, they're too small to stand on their own. So when we played with schools, when we played against Soweto, so then Alex Tembisa would have to do one team. Because in Alex back then, we only had 3 high schools in Alex. And then we'd mix with Tembisa. So Alex Tembisa. But that team we had was deadly. In 1991-92, we went on to win the Super C national tournament. In the final, we beat Pretoria. Pretoria had Sundowns players in their team. All Sundowns players in their team. Jos Mahulega, Fire Masilela. Our team, Tembisa Alex, was myself, was Jerry Sikhosana, was Sheikh Skungwani, Alfred Piri. And then we had another one who played for George Johannes Chile. We had Makasim Pafudi. So our team as well had like serious players. So our rivalry, then I don't know how they blew it up, but we used to enjoy it. I used to enjoy it so much.
Because you guys had a history of being friends.
And I mean, some of the stuff that we did to promote the game. I remember the one time where on the cover of Kickoff, we were there with boxing gloves. And when we shot that cover, we were in camp at national team. And at national team, we used to share a room. So in national team, we'd share a room. But when there's the derby, I remember there's a game where he scored. After celebrating, when he was celebrating there with all the guys, he remembered that the cover, we just did the cover. He came to me and did this. Came to me and I wanted to give him a left hook. He came to me and did this. So it was all because of, that.
The PR behind it.
I mean, till today, I mean, one of the reasons, the stuff we do with Hollywood Bets is we go talk to people. We're always talking about the derby, talking about the rivalry. And it brought the best out of me. It brought the best out of him.
You need that.
But we need that. But for me, I always say, when I had to look at how many games I played against him and how many goals he scored against me, and because of the rivalry and the hype, it looked like he had scored like 20 goals against me.
Yes. It looked like he was your Achilles heel.
He only scored against me in 3 games.
Oh.
And in 3 games, and is that the one he's got a hat trick. No, in 4 games. So he's got only 6 goals against me. But the one was the hat trick. And then so now it looked like so when we talk about it, it's like he was really my nemesis and someone but yes, the hype and everything else that came with it. I think it even helped, our brands to grow, both of us. And
who are the other strikers
that you truly feared now?
The one striker that I dreaded playing against was a guy called Robinson Siakamela. He played for Valpros. This guy was this big, was strong. His nickname was Koyoko. This guy, even my defenders were scared of him. So that's why. So this guy, this guy was so strong. When he jumps with a defender, even me, when I go up, when he can't get to the ball, he would with the head, on your head, and he would never get cuts.
Yeah,
that guy was one of the strongest. He was like strong as an ox. Very difficult to play against, and more especially that the club he played for, that all they do is they just want to pump the balls into the box.
Yeah, long balls.
And he's coming there, you get to fight with him. But that taught me a lot. It taught me then that how do I deal with this? So because I started having problems with that. And then Santos, if you remember Santos back in the day, had these 4 big guys. And there was 2 guys from Mauritius.
Etienne something, I forgot. Etienne, the name, I forgot.
And then there was Johnny Mbitso.
Yes, with the dreadlocks.
Yeah. And what these guys would do is when the game starts, they just kick the ball forward, and if they don't have a corner, they want to have a throw in there. Within the first 5 minutes, they want to throw the ball in the box, and they don't go for the ball. They come to you, the keeper.
Yeah.
So whichever team they play against, the keeper, they come to you, they hit you. So the whole game, you just looking over your shoulder. And now your defenders, they can't help you. But over the time, then I started learning, what do I do? Because so when you get my defenders to help me, then there's lots of people here.
Yeah, it's congested.
So then I started I learned from training, then I would tell my defenders, get out of the way.
Okay.
And so I'll get them there that when I go out, just go to the line, protect me there. I don't want to protect him. I want to go. So I'll go and punch them. So I'll go punch them and put them with the knee on the back. So I knew then this one fights back. Because most keepers who didn't fight back, and they wouldn't know. Then you'd be today, I look at the goalkeepers today, how just small touch and then they crying, the referee. I'm like, you will never survive in those games. Because these guys would just come and they'll play off.
Hey, Brian BALOYI, Muthi Brian BALOYI, before you leave, man, gotta ask you your best 11 you faced locally. So it can be players that you played with or players you faced, but I'm looking for your best 11 locally, starting with the goalkeeper all the way.
Jeez, the best 11 locally would be Tumelen Kune.
Okay, Tumelen Kune. You've got Kune on the goals?
Yeah, Kune on the goals. I would say right back, I would say Sizam Taung.
Better than Zama?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. I would say I prefer Nzama more as a centre back than a right back.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then left back, David Nyati going up. Central defense, then because I played against him from Cape Town. And then central defense. Okay, so I never played against Lucas and and Neil. So here, central defenders, I would say, Jesus, I would say Johnny Mbitso. Damn, there's a centre back that I played for Cape Town Spurs in the 90s and never made it for national team.
Oh, wow.
I'm now forgetting his name. He was a left footer. The best. But but because I forget him, there's a centre back that played for Pirates. Was from Congo.
Do you want me to Google him?
Yeah, just.
Let's start.
No, not from Congo. Kaizer Zeng.
Oh, Kaizer Zeng, Nigeria.
Yeah,
That's
Kaizer
Nigeria,
Zeng.
Ghana, West Africa. Yeah.
I like that guy so much. I tried to get him. We were friends. I tried to get him to Chiefs.
Yeah.
He was so calm, cool on the ball.
Wow.
In the middle,
We're doing a 4-4-2.
Yeah, I would say in the middle, Ezra Mnyandoro. And then I would say Macbeth Sebaya.
Oh, proper player.
And then
Player right there. Proper player.
On the right, I would say Tiko Modise.
Quality.
On the left, hey, you caught me off guard, yeah.
Jabupule, Akazwane.
Now there's so many out. I would say
Junior Kanye. Who else? There's so many.
So many, bro.
There's so many. Jesus Christ.
Talking wingers here.
Wingers, yeah. Jeez. So you see the team I'm giving you now. I would say Helman Kalele there.
Oh,
I would say Helman.
Yes.
Up front there, I would say Benny McCarthy and Leslie Manyatel.
How good was Benny McCarthy, man?
He was real deal.
Sure.
He was. And I remember, so I'll tell you a story. I remember the first time seeing Benny under 23 camp. In camp under 23, Mr. Avery brings this young boy. See this boy, just I see him we're doing shooting practice, left and right, volleys. And we start playing, and then it's like, geez, this is the player. And that time, playing for 7 Stars. They're playing in the first division. And his coach is Chipa Mladedi and Trevor Mtimkulu, Triple K. Kaizer Chiefs legends. They are his coach at 7 Stars.
7 Stars.
And they tried to get him to Chiefs.
Wow.
I get to Chiefs, I tell them there's this young boy.
This guy, yeah.
No, you must get this boy. I don't know what happened. A couple of months later, 7 Stars wins promotion. And we play at Joburg Stadium. We play against them. It was a, I think, quarterfinal or semi-final. I forgot which cup was it. Benny scores 2 goals. They beat us 2-1. From then, Chiefs only now, they say, who's this?
Who's this? Yeah.
But by then it was too late. Rob Moore was now taking him overseas. It was too late. But Leslie Manyatel, I believe he would have been better than Benny.
Whoa. That's crazy.
Leslie was hugely talented. And he was, I mean, when he had that accident, he was on his way.
His path was crazy.
Was rising.
Yeah. Slow poison.
But in closing, Grootman, what do you want to be remembered as when it's all said and done?
Jeez, I've always, it's one thing that we all think about, and I've always said, I want people to remember me. This is what I always think. I feel that if people remember me just for what I did on the field, I'm a failure. I want people to remember me for things I did outside the field. How I touched humanity, how I touched people, communities. And that's why the work I do with my foundation, and I believe that football or entertainment puts you in a place, but you're on a path, and it's how you use that to now build your life after football, or if you're
and better other people's lives,
and better other people's lives. You know, so I want to be remembered as one that changed, that make impact on society. I know a lot of times that we talk and people always saying, and as well, when we start talking about politics, people say, no, stay in your lane. I always ask people, what lane? Who created the lane?
Yeah.
When you, if you had to talk about politics, they'd say, no, stay in your lane. All you know is music. I'm not, no. Besides music, you're part of society.
Yeah.
You have family, you have friends, you live in a community. So, and politics, whether you're directly involved or not, they affect you.
Yeah.
So we need to be given space that we can comment, or we can contribute towards how South Africa looks tomorrow. For me, I always say we have to leave the place better than we found it.
Yeah.
And who we're leaving it to for? We're leaving it for our kids, for our grandkids. So if we sit and say, now
I'm not staying in my lane.
Then we're failing our own kids, our own grandkids. So I believe there's more that one is involved in, that one. I want to get more involved in football, more especially in the administration. I believe sports plays a big role in changing society. Yeah. And I believe football...
And bringing society together.
And I believe football is not taking its rightful place in society. And it has to start with us as South Africans, start looking at football. How do we get football back?
Yeah.
And how do we now take football and make it great again? And for as long as when we look at football, we always sometimes say, no, you played football, you can contribute towards football. No, all of us as society, you have to look at how do we, it has to be a concern that, just past weekend, was the first time that Chiefs Sundowns sold out Soccer City.
Yeah.
But again, we go to smaller games, people are not coming.
Yeah.
So we have to start asking ourselves,
why?
Why?
Yeah.
And if we really love football and we love our kids and the next generation, then we must look at ways, how do we make sure that football, becomes what rugby is. We can learn a lot from rugby.
Big time.
More especially administration.
And monetizing. Those guys get money.
Yeah,
they kill it.
Yeah, so we must now come together and see how. I know the one I said earlier about me as a young boy dreaming of owning a club one day. I know I'm going to.
Of course.
I'm a big dreamer, and I know when I put my mind to something, I know it will happen. But for me, how it's going to happen is, the reason it hasn't happened now is, and not in the environment that football is in terms of the structure of ownership. I want to be part of something. I want to leave a legacy. I don't want to waste my time. So if I'm involved in a football club, I don't want to be involved in something that tomorrow it can be sold and then the name can be changed just like that.
No.
Then I spent 5 years at your club. You decide to sell it. Now it's in Durban. Now it's Royal Mpisani. Now the chairman is playing.
Come on.
Yes. So for me, I want to be involved in something that I know, and the models are there. We're building it. When the time comes, when the time is right, we will build it and put it out there where it's a football club, where it's owned by people. Yeah. It's not for me. I'm not. I think for me, it's an ego trip.
Got you.
To this day is about owning a club.
Yeah.
And it's about one being called a chairman or president. And for me, football is bigger than that. Understanding what football for what football has done for me as a person. I'm here because of football.
Of course.
And I want to see football doing what is done for me for generations to come. So for that to happen, we have to now go back and be involved in football and to make sure that I want to build a club that is multicultural, that sees no color. South Africans today love football, black, white, colored, Indian. But football is still looked as a black sport.
Got you.
True.
So whereas white, Indian, colored, every weekend they're supporting
Man United.
Yeah. So those are potential customers. Those are potential supporters and owners of what we should be building. I'm not going to fight. We don't want to fight with Chiefs and Pirates with their supporters. They'll come to us anyway.
Yeah.
After we have built this with the people that
matter.
Because for me, football has to be about people, and it has to be about community. And I've seen a lot of opportunities within Gauteng that, as much as I always want to put things out there in the universe, but I want to keep it so that when I put it out there, people will understand what I was talking about. But people will understand that this is what football should be like.
Yeah.
This is what football clubs, because for me, I want to build something that 100 years after I'm gone will still be alive.
Got you.
I don't want to build something that my kids, after I'm gone, my kids are going to be fighting for it. No, this is our family business. This is my dad's club. No.
And what I love about you is you run a proper foundation. He's got a real foundation, unlike these other celebrities that use it to money launder.
Yeah, funnel money.
Yeah. Because his foundation, I believe you're actually walking from Pretoria to Limpopo.
Yeah. So
raise awareness for breast cancer.
Raising awareness for breast cancer. Yeah. So my wife is a 2-time breast cancer survivor.
But so from now on, if you have a foundation, unless you are walking from Pretoria to Limpopo, it doesn't.
No,
we are money laundering. It's not a foundation.
You're cleaning mine. We see you. You're cleaning mine.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're walking. We call it walking for her. So walking for her, we're working for women. We're working for not just my wife and women that are.
She survived twice.
Wow. First came 2007 and then it came back 2014, 2015. But she's good now. Clear. She's in the clear. So yeah.
Thank God, man.
But the reason I'm involved in this is that as a family, with my wife and my family, we understand that the reason she's alive is because of early detection. In both cases, it was detected early and she got the right treatment. So in her helping to spread the message, and her foundation is called Pink Warrior, and she spreads the message of early detection, but her focus is townships and rural communities.
Do you guys actually walk from Pretoria to Limpopo?
Yeah.
You don't take a break?
No. So the walk is about 170 kilometers, but we do it in 6 days.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so so the longest on those days, the longest we walk is about 30 k's.
Oh, okay, it's not
about 30 k's, and then we stop there, and then we drive back to the hotel. We sleep at Zebula, and then we come back the next day. We drive back to where we stop. We start from there.
Brilliant.
But the plan, because we started it last year, and this is our second one. The plan is from like year 5 onwards. Then we wanna just do it like walking like 500-600 k's.
Okay.
And not going back, walking, and when we're tired, we'll stop and camp, put tents.
Becomes a thing.
Becomes a thing. But yeah, my partners, they in the hotel business and in the wildlife. So most of those areas, they understand them. So we're trying to come up with. But so far so good.
Beautiful. Last question.
Brilliant.
Your predictions for the season?
Prediction for the season is locally and international.
Let's keep it local.
Locally, I'll say Paris to win the league.
Woo! It's a big call.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think Sundowns, I see Sundowns struggling this year, not being as dominant as they were in the last few years. I see us finishing anywhere in the top 4.
Nice.
Hopefully second or third. But I
Player to watch out for?
Player to watch out for. Mofokeng. I love Tito. And Vilagazi.
Fundo.
Vilagazi. I think with time he will blossom. But I'm a big fan of Maswanga. The Tito is
awesome.
Yeah, and let me see who else. I think that's it.
That's it,
yeah,
ne?
That's it.
Brand BALOYI, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate your time. This was amazing. Like, hey, I'm still in disbelief, man. That's why I don't even want to stop. They're telling us to wrap it up. We can go on for another 5 hours. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you,
really appreciate
thank
you.
you.
You're a
so much
legend.
fun.
And God bless you, man.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Guys.
When you get that team, can we sponsor the shirt?
Yes. No, you're going to be part of the team.
Fantastic.
You're going to be part of the club. So,
yeah.
So it's the club. So I always tell people, and some other clubs, their fans, they always fight with me. So wherever we talk about football, I always tell them, no, there's only 2 clubs in South Africa. It's Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates.
Yeah.
The others, you are teams.
No, thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate you. Podcast and chill. We out here, man. Boom.
Welcome to Black Excellence. Do not fear, for if you do, just sip on some grandeur. And if you still do, ask ourselves, what would Mapapunzi do? Parama chila, itlesha lefiki. Ungoyigi, even when they ask you, how sabi ini? Do not fear, for if you do, just say, Anistivi. This is the medicine of censorship. This is the pill. Which one is that one? Podcast and chill.